Welcome back to the Psychic Next Door. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to tune in, as well as for your overwhelming support for subscribing, liking, and even commenting on my videos. I am truly grateful for you. My goal today and always is to provide you clarity and peace through these spirit-driven messages. Remember, these are just general readings, not one-to-one, so if it doesn't resonate, just leave it behind, my friends. I apologize in advance for the sniffles. I'm trying to fight something. And I may clear my throat here and there, but just bear with me. Okay, my friends? Thank you. I had mentioned this in our special July 4th reading, that Spirit has been wanting to discuss 2024 throughout our readings these last couple of months. So instead of a July bonus reading, this reading is going to be for the remainder of 2024. For those of you that haven't had the opportunity, please check out my special July 4th reading. It's a timeless reading, and it was our first pick a card message. There was a lot of incredible information that came through for you all. All right. This reading is for our beautiful Capricorn friends. It will include July through December of 2024. All right. While we shuffle the cards, Spirit wants to highlight one major theme that's kind of been relevant for all signs as of recent, and that is self-doubt. There's a lot of self-doubt that seems to have been creeping in to our lives, whether it be on a global scale, current relationships, business partnerships, or even in relation to just your day-to-day with others, okay? In saying this, the great news is Spirit wants to know that in the coming months, this cloud, this energy, this feeling is going to be lifted for many of you. So that's wonderful news. Now, I know we draw the motivational insight deck card usually at the end of our readings, but today, because this came through for all signs and Spirit really just wanted me to bring it to the forefront, I want to do so for you all, okay? It says, if a cauliflower can somehow become a pizza, then you, my friend, can accomplish anything. All right, isn't this the case though? I mean, seriously speaking, if they can turn cauliflower, and no hate to those that love it, if they could turn this into like a crust of a pizza, right? And it's not half bad. Then think about what we can do in our day-to-day lives. Think about what we can accomplish, right? Just a little food for thought for you guys. All right, so we've drawn from our first deck so far. We have Bring Love into the Situation, Meditate and Contemplate, and A Fiery Climax Approaches. So I want to start by talking about the Meditate and Contemplate, because for so many of you, this is very much needed, okay? This is something that all signs also, as a general concept, are in desperate need of. To be able to lift that self-doubt, you kind of have to dig deep, okay? And those are the words that Spirit is using, dig deep, in order to raise this self-doubt, to lift it, to remove it, from your life right now, okay? Another area which is right behind the Meditate and Contemplate is bring love into the situation for yourself. Okay, guys? They want you to bring love and peace and harmony in in what appears to be a very chaotic time for you guys, right? Going back now to the original cards that we've drawn and the messages that are coming through, it's just so much information coming through Spirit for you guys here for the next 6 months. I want to make sure to bring it all to the forefront, okay? Because we have different situations going on here for many of you. Let's go ahead and regroup and come back to this. For all of you as a collective, you are in need of meditating and contemplating, okay? Spirit is showing me different types of situations that you guys have been through, okay? Some are relationship driven, some are simply internal self-doubt. Someone has made you feel this way. You're having some doubts with your career, with perhaps some of the duties at your current employer. it's just an overall kind of yuck type of energy, all right? First and foremost, you have to regroup, okay? You have to remember that you, in whatever situation that you're in, you have a lot to offer, okay? And that starts with you, okay? The more control you have of your inner self, okay, of what you can accomplish, of how you feel about yourself, how you treat yourself, the less and less the things outside your world can affect that. Spirit is giving me an example, and I want to dive into that for you. Some of you perhaps were on a bit of a solid path in regards to, they're showing me eating habits. Okay, you were doing good there for a bit. You know, things were going in the right momentum. Perhaps you were inundated with a lot of work. Perhaps a relationship took a negative turn. Okay, which is where they're wanting me to highlight this card. This is now coming through for you guys, a fiery climax approach. So throughout these last 6 months, they're even showing me 2023 for some of you. You've gone off the rails in a sense. You've kind of put to the side the things that are necessary to maintain a good and healthy lifestyle and heart for you because of some of these situations that have occurred. Perhaps you've had a climax that approached with a relationship. They're bringing that to the forefront now. It looks like there's been a lot of turmoil for some of you with a relationship. They're showing me a bit of a family dynamic where perhaps one spouse does not reside at the residence, and there's been bickering and fighting and arguing perhaps about the children, disagreements on how to raise the children, given one parent is not in the household and wants to give input, but perhaps is not pitching in as they should. They just want to give input. A lot of this has kind of eaten away at you, and you've kind of put yourself in the background. You've kind of set those things that are important to you, the things that you need aside, because these things have weighed you down so much that you're just kind of exhausted emotionally, and therefore not a lot of energy, not a lot of ambition to take care of yourself. You're just kind of getting through it all, okay? Along these lines, again, for many of you, Spirit is asking you to pause, all right? You're being asked to pause before making a quick decision and moving forward. Allow yourself to step back, look at all the possible outcomes, and make sure you're heading in the right direction before moving forward. Along the same lines of this fiery climax approaching, you're probably, part of you is wanting to make a quick haste decision because you're just tired and frustrated with what's going on in your life. They're asking you to pause. Okay, give it a minute. This card is being highlighted again. Meditate and contemplate. See the situation for what it is. Okay, take some time to remove the emotions, the feelings, the thoughts, the negative energy and patterns of what's going on, okay, in this back and forth, and take a moment to pause and see what is best for you. If there's children involved, if there's another spouse trying to co-parent, what works for all of you? At the end of the day, what works that is the healthiest and best outcome for your children, okay? Without having to sacrifice yourself so much, because it's clear you've had to sacrifice yourself just to simply keep the peace and keep things moving, right? Something that is, I can feel you're really worn, okay, in the situation that you're in. Now I'm seeing a twofold message for you. I'm still seeing a relationship that requires patience, that requires time, but I'm also seeing what appears to be a work environment, and there's a lot of frustration. There's a fiery climax that may have or may be approaching in a work environment as well. You've just kind of had it up to here, right? And part of you just wants to walk out, be done, and you realize that for financial reasons and things of that nature, You can't make those hasty decisions, but understand that in pausing, okay, and having some patience during this period, find what works for you, all right? If this situation that you're in at work, okay, in your career, things aren't getting better. You've done what you can, all right, to make the conditions better. It's not happening, okay? Try to look outside this situation, okay? For some of you, it looks as though some of you may be looking in another department, but at the same company, okay? They're also showing me a vision of like a call center type, not necessarily that you work at a call center, but that kind of atmosphere where there's different teams, different departments. It's showing me that you've been perhaps in this position for quite some time, and you're kind of being burnt out also with this job. It looks like you're needing more, and that's great. That's part of where the frustration, oftentimes when we hit a brick wall somewhere, it means our time there is done. It means we've maxed out the time and there's more for us. We just don't see it and feel it that way. Sometimes spirit and things have to become uncomfortable for us to make a move, right? If things are going well and you're just getting into the day-to-day, the paycheck, you're doing a good job, you're just kind of getting through it, chances are you kind of might just stay there and stay stagnant because the energy isn't so bad. But when these periods come, oftentimes it's kind of like a little push from spirit saying, hey, you deserve more. You have the opportunity to create more in your life. What are you waiting for? So take this time to kind of look into other areas at your current employer. For some of you, you're maxed out at your current employer. It's time for you to look elsewhere, right? They're showing me the website LinkedIn for some reason. So perhaps some of you may not have a lot of experience with that website, a lot of great opportunities, and they have a really great job board. They're showing me like the different features of LinkedIn, and I am familiar with it, so perhaps that's why they're using this as a guide or as an example. But perhaps take some time and create a profile there. Perhaps take some time and look at the different job boards that are out there, okay? There's a lot to choose from. Spirit is highlighting in bold. Be careful regarding scams. Right now, they're their absolute peak, okay? And they take advantage of people who want more and want to be more. And you see an opportunity, you're like, wow, could this be too good to be true? Sometimes it is, okay? So they want you to make sure that you're just doing your due diligence, all right? Keep going. That's the key here, my friends. Keep going. It may feel as though you've been on this path or journey for so long, and you may even wonder if you're making any progress towards your dreams. This message is a loving reminder for you to keep going. You're almost there, all right? So for some of you that are having these uncomfortable situations at work, in relationships, it's a time of reflection, okay? It's a time to see, are tweaks needed? For some of you, you're not necessarily even leaving a situation, a career or a relationship. You're simply needing to make some tweaks. As I'm sure you all know, relationships, they take a lot of work. And oftentimes, you're just kind of going through the motions, and we're not fine-tuning what needs to be handled. And things kind of fester and get out of control and so on, okay? So let's take a look to see what clarifiers Spirit has. I'm not sure if you could see it. Now certainly hold it up, but the Tower came up. I'll be honest with you, in this particular situation, the Tower is a really great thing, okay? Oftentimes, for some, so now it's a twofold message. Let me give them to you one at a time. First message here, the Tower is a very positive and beautiful thing. While it's an uncomfortable thing right now, all right, this brick wall that you could be hitting, this frustration point, this fiery climax that has approached, the Tower is simply there to shake up your world, all right? It's to let you know that other things, other doors are opening for you at this time. Other possibilities, more contemplation and meditation. things that you've sort of secretly wanted are now resurfacing for some of you. And that's a really great thing. That's a really great thing. For some of you, there's been a loved one that's been going through an illness where they haven't been able to pinpoint what's going on. So there's been a lot of frustrations with doctor's appointments and things of that nature and not getting much resolution. They are showing me that they're showing me the word specialist. Okay. So here in the coming months, the remainder of the year, perhaps you will be seeing, or your loved one will be seeing, a specialist that will illuminate more of what's been going on health-wise for you, which will lead to the proper treatment and so on. So while what you've been going through has been pretty rough, medically speaking, or a loved one, it looks like there is, thankfully, a light at the end of this tunnel. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to the original message, because that appears to be for the majority of you, okay? Back to the Tower shaking things up in your life a little bit. Some of us are going to need to leave things that no longer serve us, okay? Some are habits and things of that nature. They're showing a collective of you that are going to be getting very creative, all right? This is kind of very exciting for you all. You've literally been on a path of sorts, okay? Perhaps, let's say you've been an accountant for most of your life, a portion of your life. And now you want to create a YouTube channel that consists of a hobby that you absolutely love that you don't get to do very often, or a spiritual journey. You're kind of going day and night. It's kind of really exciting. You're opening the door to something that's kind of always been there for you. It's something you've always wanted to do, and you're finally going to take the steps to do that. The beautiful thing is you're standing in your power, all right? You're standing in your power. There is more peace and love in your light because you're making these steps, because you're taking some bold action and moves, right? Throughout this journey, Spirit is also wanting to let you know to don't forget to love yourself. This is all about you, okay? Don't forget to take care of yourself, okay? Even if it's 30 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, allow yourself to regroup and reset, because there are times throughout this journey as you continue this momentum that you will need to continuously do that to stay on this path, right? I think that's one of the reasons, and they're showing me, they're giving me an example of, oftentimes we get so off track of our situation and we wonder, how did I get here? Like, how did I get down this rabbit hole of sorts? And it's because throughout we stop putting ourselves in the forefront or taking care of ourselves and just kind of handling the fires and things of that nature. And by the end of the day, the end of the week, you're just too tired and you're just like, well, off we go to the next day. They're asking you to just kind of remember yourself during this. Hold yourself as a key player, okay? Make sure you're just as important, okay, as the things that are happening around you with your family and friends. This will allow you not to get so deep in that rabbit hole that you've kind of currently been feeling and been in, okay? Lots of beautiful things. They're highlighting this Magician card again. Some of you are really having a hard time taking that step forward, okay, in this new venture, in this new, perhaps you wanting to move departments, perhaps you wanting to do totally something different, okay, than you've currently done for so long. Spirit is just asking, perhaps do a little research. It looks like some of you already have done some research, but take 1 or 2 steps. Even if you're just taking 1 or 2 steps, they're showing me a week, okay? Some of you are able to do 1 or 2 steps per day. All right, get things in motion. You don't realize the happiness and the fulfillment that's going to come from this for you. I'm really excited. I hope if you all have a situation like this, I'd love it if you shared with us in the comments. These are very exciting times for so many of you. And I can feel that what what we felt at the beginning of the reading, the self-doubt, the kind of the cloud that folks have been in, I just, by the end of this reading, I have felt that it has lifted for you, okay? And you have the power to make those changes, all right? And I know it's difficult for you and has been, but you've got this. You've got this, my beautiful Capricorn friends. We are going to draw one more card from our Motivational Insight deck. And it looks like this message has popped out here for us, my friends. So we're going to take it. Never give up and be confident in what you do. There may be tough times, but the difficulties which you face will make you more determined to achieve your objectives, to win against the odds.